So, this is your second time at the Wild Goose Festival.
Yes.
And what are you doing this year?
I am hosting a Goose in the Round at 1 o'clock today and tomorrow. And then playing in the cafe tomorrow at 4 with my friend Anna, who's a great violinist.
What's the Goose in the Round?
Goose in the Round is a singer-songwriter showcase.
Okay.
So there'll be
It's like a Bluebird kind of Nashville type?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. In the round, we start out with a group song, and the difference is that everybody plays on each other's songs and tries to be more collaborative.
Like a support player.
Than the music business.
Right.
Style.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So you've been in different aspects of the music business. I know you've been on a major label, you've gone independent.
Yeah.
Tell me about what your experience has been.
Well, I didn't, I accidentally got a record deal. So, because I was already an independent artist, and it kind of came up through the punk scene where they didn't want to pay ASCAP and BMI, so they had original music in the club. And I just got good at writing in a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
So I got signed at the same time that, like, the Indigo Girls, and so I'm from that era, and that's what they were looking for at that moment. And then right about the time my record came out, Guns N' Roses hit, and it was suddenly hair bands from the Whiskey A Go Go. So but I had a really great time. I have just put out my 20th CD.
Man.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you. That's a lot of work.
Tell me about the latest CD.
It's called Little Wars, and my wife was sick for a year, and I had to stay home and off the road, and I wrote. So it's kind of a little sadder than my normal CDs, but just because it was a really rough patch, but everything's fine now.
Yeah.
So I'm working on another one.
What is it about music for you?
That's my spiritual practice.
Yeah.
I would say it's my it's like my Zen practice. Writing. I teach a lot of workshops on writing and the crafts. Well, not just songwriting, any kind of writing.
Just writing, yeah.
Writing as a spiritual practice, as a craft.
The train kept it rolling all night long.
We were riding. I wish we were riding that train.
Drop a little Grateful Dead lyric in there.
It'd be cooler. Yeah.
This is the. We'll just imagine it as the goose call right now. That's
yes. Well, the train comes right by where my tent is, and it was like, wow.
Yeah, I always think when the train goes by, I always think of that line in the Blues Brothers. How often does the train go by? So often you don't even notice.
Yes. Yes.
So what is it about songwriting or writing in general that can you describe how that's a spiritual practice for you? What is it that makes it spiritual as opposed to just a practice of health?
Yeah, it's sort of the same thing with sermons. Like, you tell the truth, you tell your truth, you be as specific as possible. Mm-hmm. The more specific you are, you think, oh, this is just for me, I'm writing this song for me. And that's the song that will connect with other people. Yeah. It's like the more you take a risk and there's a little fear, like you're telling the truth and you're exposing yourself, basically.
Right.
Then people aren't thinking about you, because if you do it right, they're thinking about themselves. You made them think about their lives, and it's real cool how that works. And I've kind of expanded as I started writing when I was like 12, so this is a while.
Yeah. 5 years.
Yeah,
6
at least
years,
5. Yeah. So now, like sometimes I just read stories about people and I can write their story as if it happened to me. There's something we have in common, and you can tell a historic story, or it's beautiful. I think it's a miracle how it works.
Well, I love that word, because I hear part of it is therapeutic almost, right?
Yes.
So you're telling your own truth.
It's cheaper than therapy, yes.
Then there's also this empathic part, this empathy, sympathy, where you're telling other people's stories. And I love it. That may be the mystery, the mystical, the transcendent piece, is that very personal truth of yours connects with somebody's, the more specific it is.
Yes.
And how does that happen?
I have no idea. I feel like it was like a serious blessing, like, saved my life. It's
Really?
I didn't have Ozzy and Harriet for parents. I came out really young. It was really rough. And songwriting was like home. Stage
Wow.
was home.
It was safe.
Yeah, it's safe. Yeah, because I'm not even that extroverted,
Yeah.
but I've always been a performer.
But being in front of people and performing is a whole
just
different.
cool. It, like, gives you a reason to live.
So there's a dynamic that's really interesting. There's a safety in that space on the stage. I've heard somebody talk about not safe spaces, but brave spaces.
Yeah, it's a brave space for
Right?
sure.
So here you are, in this sense, kind of being ultimately extremely vulnerable, because it's very personal, therapeutic, empathic, all that, and yet you are doing this in front of a group of people, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't enjoy being a rock star as much as I do being a folk star.
Okay.
Because my job when I was a rock star was to be a little removed.
Oh,
And
there's
you
an
have to
aloofness,
believe, you have to kind of believe in the idea that you're special. And I wanted to be in community. I wanted to like serve my community, and so folk is much better for that. Ministry is much better for that.
Well, punk rock has that more of that ethos, I think,
Exactly.
than the rock and roll.
Yeah, but it was all about how you look and are you skinny enough and really.
Yeah.
And people lied to me all the time.
Yeah.
And so it was it was exciting. I got to play for 90,000 people at Farm Aid.
Wow.
But it's when the audience is that big, it's like a dragon. It feels like a dragon breathing in and out at you.
Interesting.
You don't feel any different. I'm really glad it happened because I'm not wishing I had
Right.
that.
If only you don't need to do.
I
the
would
if
rather
only,
play.
you've done
I would
it.
rather play a house concert,
Yeah.
or I'd rather play the Goose. I'd rather play someplace where people are there
Yeah.
and their hearts are open and my heart's open and we're having an exchange.
Yeah. Now you're also in seminary
Yeah, I'm almost done.
at Star King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what is it about seminary that ties into this for you, or is this something separate?
I feel like I've been doing ministry my whole life, but as I've gotten older, songwriter, you're by yourself all the time. Like
Right.
I'm traveling by myself. Occasionally, I have Anna playing fiddle or whatever, but or have a band. But you need colleagues. You need people to be in active. Like, how did you feel about that? You know.
Right. So
I
you
think
missed
it's
that from the
safer.
band.
I miss the
part,
band
yeah.
life. Yeah. I was very happy in the band life.
So seminary takes the place of band life.
Yes, exactly. And well, I think what's going on in the world right now, I feel like I could be the most use. And I still write songs. I'm
Yeah.
still singing all the
Yeah.
time. But climate change, white supremacy has to go. All the intersectionality, all the stuff that the Goose is about.
Right.
I feel like the clock is ticking and we need to get busy. There's a lot of work to be done. I don't want to waste my life.
What is it about the Goose that feeds that for you?
Not being on the Christian side of things, being a Aryan Universalist, these are my people too. And so it's really nice to have that connection because I think especially if you grew up, when I grew up and came out in Kentucky in the 70s,
Wow.
Christianity, my family are all Methodist ministers and we all know the struggles that the Methodist Church is having.
Yeah.
I was just told I couldn't be a minister.
Right.
So it's healing up lots of stuff, just being in a space where you have lots of allies and lots of people in the same struggle.
How does it contribute to your craft?
I don't know. Camping is good for your... I like the people I'm playing with. I like the
Nice.
people I meet here.
Yeah.
So I think everything you do affects your music. So we'll see how it goes.
Very cool.
Yeah, I feel like people hear my music differently here, which is cool.
Huh. What is different about it here?
They get me. I don't know. Just people are listening, and they're listening at a deeper level. So that's beautiful.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm not ready to. I think I'm not ready to articulate it. Like it's still cooking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.